she executes at the highest level.
That's where we folks sell billions of dollars of real estate.
The chasing business, now all of a sudden I was attracting it.
You're going to get a lot of no's before you get that first yes.
You're not doing consistent.
You're everywhere all the time. People will take you.
You have to outproduce your problems.
It has everything to do with the mindset and the discipline.
Don't try to be making a withdrawal before you've made a deposit.
Focusing on the quality, not the quantity.
Continue to move forward and grow.
What is up, Every Agent Wins fam? Today we have a fantastic show for you. We have a rock star agent doing 200 plus deals a year, Mrs. Lana Rodriguez out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. She is a TikTok expert. She is a fantastic mom. And we're going to be talking about client appreciation events, how she gets 90% of her business from client appreciation events, who she invites, daily focuses for realtors, and building out your database. So stick around, check it out, and we're gonna be right back into this right after this message.
So you're a new agent. You don't know where to start. You've done typical agent things like cold calling.
Have you ever thought of selling your home? Hello? Tom?
Hi, looking to sell your home?
And doing open houses. You're not making any progress. So you download the Bellwood Agent and you follow directions provided. You find a seller. Bellwood likes the house. Within a few days, you get an accepted contract. You show the house. Bellwood buys the house. You get paid. You relist the property once flipped. You sell the property. You get paid again. You did this with no knowledge or experience. Rinse and repeat.
Hey, Tom, still looking to sell your home? Bellwood's buying. What is up, everybody? How are you doing? This is another exciting episode of Every Agent Wins, and we have a rock star agent, Lana Rodriguez. What is up, Lana?
Ronnie, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor. And dear audience, how are you all doing?
Oh, man, I know they're excited because you are killing it. Now, we talked off screen a little bit. You've only been in the business for, and this has blown my mind. You've only been in the business for 6 years, and you have grown a team, and you are also, what did you say, the top 1% in your area?
Yes, sir. Sure are. Top 1% in our local MLS out of 5,000 agents.
All right. So I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to. How many transactions in a year?
Okay, good question. So on 3 consecutive years, we are proudly serving 200 plus families, by referral only, may I add. Last year, we had 230. I think today, due to certain COVID complications, it's probably going to be a little over 200. Yet wow. It's always the goal. I told my team we cannot go lower than 200.
That is amazing. And then we also talked off screen. Tell me a little bit about you and where you come from. So none of you have an excuse because she doesn't even speak English as her first language and learned it only 15 years ago. So you do not have an excuse. Get out there, go hustle. So tell me a little bit about where you come from and what you do.
My friend, thank you for asking this question. So I have been officially in America for the last 15 years, and I'm originally from the country of Latvia. When I simply get asked, where are you from? I say I'm from Mother Russia, because it's simply easier answer.
It's easier.
Yeah. Latvia, it's a very small country, part of the Baltic state, part of USSR and part of Russia a long time ago. So when I did came in America in 2005, my English was very, very whack. And I worked very, very long and hard to get Americanized and to be able to speak and immerse into the culture where I can be a contributing citizen years later.
Yes, no, that and it says a lot about you, your hustle and your grind, that you did not get discouraged, because I know that can be a huge, it can be hard for people, and you probably had to change the tones in your voice and learn how to be around different types of people, because let's be honest, Americans act different than Russians, right? I mean, that's just the thing, right? So you have to learn the culture.
The culture is correct. Immigrant way in America is very similar to the beginners of real estate way when they start, and it's so brand new, and you have to fit in. No matter what industry you're in, if it's lending, if it's title, if it's real estate sales, you have to fit in, and you have to grind. You have to You have to know your trade. And that's what I did. Even with the English as a second language. God, I think I took, for 3 years, I took English as a second language course just so I can be not made fun of, and my English by no means is by now. And the same in real estate. You will come through transactions and interactions with people like, well, you don't know, you're a newbie agent, but you just keep writing. Don't give up.
Grind. Stick to the grind, baby. I love it. So, like I in this show, what we're trying to do is we're trying to just get that message out and make it so everybody can win. Every agent can get better at their craft, get one more deal a month, go provide for their family, and really just turn that hustle up. So thank you for coming on. So if you don't mind, can we get into a couple of questions? Because I want to learn from you as well.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. So I know you have a most of your stuff is from referral and Sphere. What would you say your number one return on investment type of lead generation? What would you say your number one thing is?
Okay, it's going to be simple. And some of our audience may be like, what? How does this even make sense? But it's our client appreciation events. I took that particular concept almost 4 to 5 years ago, and I made it my own client generation system. And we do it on consistent basis. On a good year, we do 5 to 7 big client events. We sneak in little get-togethers in between. And even in this particular year, 2020, okay, just want to thank God for we're still here. You and I are still here. Our audience are live and well. We do have clients who love us. We do have deals and bread on the table. But clearly, we had to adapt to the ways. And even this year, we hosted five client appreciation events, COVID friendly, of course, because you don't have
of course.
And we made it happen. We made it happen. And may I share with you the concept of it?
Please.
For example, I was having a conversation with one of the fellow agents, and she's like, well, I'm doing them, whenever I feel like it, and I get no return. They come, the clients come, they go. And I told her, well, you're not doing consistent enough. One time is not going to do anything. Just like if you sign up for Zillow for 1 month, and you're like, man, this shit sucks. Sorry.
Please. I love that.
I mean, it's true, right?
It's real.
No, you have to do an investment. You have to get in a habit of your clients expecting this. And the reason why we do this is to stay in the top of mind of our clients. Okay. Yes, we do our follow-ups. I have a full-time client care manager who makes the calls and answers any questions they have. But see, I'm the kind of person, I don't know about you, Ronnie, but I hate to be sold. Like every time somebody like, oh, can we meet for a cup of coffee I'm like, no, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
Well, but if it's an event that includes my spouse, maybe I can go out with my spouse and have a nice time. Or I can bring my children. I do have 2 children that I try to manage, spending time between work and
that's the struggle too. Is being. I have 3 kids, so I get where you're at. Is being able to incorporate them in your day, right?
Dude, it's huge. It's huge, and that's when I discovered because we did client galas where we do adult night only. It's a great return on investment, but there's 1/3 of clients who do not come because they don't trust their kids with sitters. Or vice versa. The biggest client event is Pumpkin Patch. It's a fall theme. We provide lunch, and for this year, last year, year before, almost 600 people. 600 people.
Wow.
They bring their parents. They bring their neighbors. It's a big community event. We rent out privately entire patch. Let's say for like 5 hours. The place caters the lunch. Everybody leaves with a pumpkin. That's agreement. And sometimes we have treats for the kids.
And it's sweet.
Creating these experiences for the family. And how this idea came to me is Brian and I, my husband and I, he was active duty. We moved to Colorado Springs and we had our first kid. And I see, all these people attending these great events on Facebook. And I was like, well, I'm not invited. Shit, I'm just going to do my own client events and go myself with my family and invite all my clients. So that's how it all started, the concept of it.
Now, I want to ask you another question because I know some other people are thinking this. Now, do you just invite, because not everybody has 200 sales a year, and maybe some people have 10 past clients or 20 past clients. Do you invite friends and family? Do you invite people that go to your church? Do you invite, you know what I mean? Who do you invite?
This is a perfect question. Thank you for asking. So pretty much everyone I know, and everyone can be A or B client in my client book. For most of our audience listening and watching, I'm sure you guys know the concept of A, B, and C and D. D, it means you need to delete them, meaning their husband is a realtor, their mom is a realtor, and they will never use you or refer you. C is somebody may think of you. B, somebody will like refer you if you ask them to. And A, of course, your nonstop people who have your back, refer you to all their neighbors, friends. And for me, it doesn't have to be a client. It can be maybe a vendor who supports me dearly. It may be a friend of a vendor who has influence in town. It's very important not to oversee these kind of people. And even though if somebody bought, let's say if somebody bought with another realtor, I'm not going to be, mad about it. Of course, I'd be sad about it, but I know they have influence in town and I will invite them because big chances they're going to tag me and all their entire Facebook friends are going to see them tagged in my client event with a pie or with a pumpkin.
I love it. I love it. I love it. The events is huge. All right. So this one I want to touch because I know there's going to be a lot of new agents. I mean, it's revolving. Oh, door in, door out, right? So for a new agent, what would you suggest a daily focus that they focus on? What's one daily thing that they can do every day to create business?
Okay, perfect question. So clearly, the word well-known real estate prospecting, but you have to do it in your own way. And you can get burned out so quick. If you're going to give somebody a cold call list, they're going to get burned out. They're going to hate what they do. And soon after that, 1 year later, they're going to get out of real estate. No.
Correct.
When I started real estate in 2014, end of 2014, we were brand new. We moved to Colorado Springs from Austin, Texas. And my husband actually gave me an ultimatum. If you want to have a kid, you're going to go get your real estate license. But that's a different story. We'll save it for later for that time. And back then, I joined a big brokerage, one of the biggest brokerages in town. It was Remax. Yes, all the Remax friends. I still love you guys, but now I'm no good with Remax. So
don't hate. Everyone's got to be somewhere. Always support people.
Of course, we're all part of the same pie, guys.
Yeah.
And I was sitting at the Remax sales meeting, and it was so scary for me as a brand new agent. Because there was all these top producers, and I was thinking to myself, I will never how I'm going to survive. All these people have, they announced GCI, and I'm like, where's GCI?
Mm-hmm.
100K, 300K, what? It was just nuts for me, So this is what I made a goal. I was pregnant with my first daughter the first month of January. I had 9 months. For those 9 months, I committed myself. I'm going to go and I'm going to meet as many people as possible. Okay, that was my number one goal. And I'm a people's person. My sales style is face to face. Right? If I suck on converting on the phone because my accent comes in. I get nervous. People are like, what did you just say? We don't understand you. I'm like, I lost them. But I realized if I can get in front of somebody, either to make the relationship or friendship or just be on the comfort level to add them enough to my database, that was my style. So I joined a lot of meetup groups. I even joined a knitting club. Knitting club.
Really?
So that's how desperate I was just to get contacts added to my database. And back then and up until this time, my database is my Facebook. Is my Facebook profile is no longer a personal profile where it's just Lana's life. No. Yes, it's Lana's life, but I have almost 5,000 friends. In order for me to add somebody, I need to remove somebody. Because Facebook is the only platform that lets you share in an organic way with our audience your life. Yeah, you can add to bits of real estate and not to be too pushy. Yep. I mastered Facebook up to the point where I have client Facebook page private. I know all the little tricks and crannies, and we do have a business page, of course, too. But right now, I'm sure for business Facebook page, you have to pay for the ads. You have to pay to play, otherwise they're not going to push your content. But within my 5,000 friends, every time I post that I want to kind of to bump up, the organic likes get it. So I've been adding all these people, even at knitting club. I was sitting there thinking, I'm wasting my life away. But guess who I added? The lady, the main host. Because remember, you want to identify the alphas in every organization. Mm-hmm. The main host was added. Not some other ladies, but the main host knows all the people.
That's
right?
The connector, right?
Connector. You want to connect to the connectors. And I'm not saying kiss their ass and be their friend, but yeah, why don't you send them a nice card or invite them to your party? And that's how slowly I build my business. for 2 years, I've been a solo agent, and then I started a team. But for new agents watching, it's very important for you to add people to your database in an organic way where they don't feel intimidated. And another thing, stop giving out your business cards because the chance is people are going to lose it like immediately.
No one cares about business cards.
What you want to do, you want to take people's business cards and you want to kindly ask them, do you mind if I friend you on Facebook? Would like to keep in touch? And most of the time people say, yes, of course. Why not? I never had somebody say, no, don't add me on Facebook. Maybe one person, just a bit.
You don't want to be friends with them anyways.
Yeah, and you connect with them immediately. It's like, oh, yeah. And they see a picture of you and your kid or a picture of you and your spouse. But they're like, oh, she's actually a decent family person. And right now, there's so many apps too. You can just like bump your phone and you're already connected. I mean, I saw that I it, but
I don't have it either. So you touched on one thing is that you built a team and you didn't always start there. So you young agents, it can happen, right? It takes time. And she did it in a very quick time. You started a team. And how many do you have in your team?
So as of this year, officially we had 5 licensed agents, 2 support staff, 1 transaction coordinator that works remotely. She's actually out of a different state, but she still kind of does our files. And within the last week, you'll be surprised, we added operations manager and we added my husband's partner agent because he's a second rainmaker on the team. So he's going to have an agent who simply kind of like works. He's a right-hand agent. So
wow, congratulations! All right, so you've been through this process now. What's a certain trait if someone's trying to start a team? What's a trait that you look for, or a couple of traits that you would look for to build a successful team?
Well, first you need to identify your strength. Even though most of us real estate agents would think we're these amazing human beings and we're great at everything, that is not true. Okay, a couple eye-opening moments where I was dealing with a lot of sellers and buyers. In my second year of business, this is my hall to fame. This is what I did kind of right in my life. Second year of business, newborn at home, I did 119 deals by myself. And end of that year, I was fat, I was unhappy, I was postpartum depressed because I still never lost my baby weight. And I made probably the most amount of money that I ever made in my life, or anyone in my family made. But that money, like I don't even know what happened to that money. Probably went to taxes, and I didn't even get to enjoy it. And that's when I was like, I need to start a team, or I'm gonna lose it. My husband, on the other hand, he's like, no, 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 no. You need to get more organized. You're not organized enough. I will never be more organized because that's just not my personality. See, he's OCD. I'm ADHD and a couple other things that most realtors suffer. Right?
Yeah.
But one thing what I identified is I love working with buyers. I'm a buyer's agent at heart. And I will go show homes for like 10 hours a day. I don't care. I love it. And it's a different vibe with a buyer. And my first hire that I had on my list was a listing manager. I said, I wanted to bring a listing manager who takes care of all my sellers. Not like I love my sellers. I love all my clients, don't get me wrong. But I just know that somebody's out there better to handling sellers and handling objections and maybe stress a little bit less. And sure enough, the first hire who I had to come on was Debbie Volk. She was a title rep in the title company. And I watched her be promoted from the assistant into the title rep. And sure enough, her and her salesperson took me out to lunch, and I'm sitting right across. I was like, I'm recruiting you for my team. And it was uncomfortable, but I did it. And that's how I started building my team. But what I want to share with our audience, you want to hire an assistant first.
That's what I keep hearing.
Dude, I did not do it. And clearly I'm with Keller Williams right now, and I'm not pitching nothing to nobody. But if anyone, no matter what brokerage you are in, please read Gary Keller's red book, $1 Million Real Estate Agent. I read it twice. Did I implement it yet? No, I have not yet implemented it, okay? Because I'm very slow on execution at sometimes. But if I would start all over, would I follow his system of building a team? Absolutely. And he really preaches you and breaks it down to you how administrative support staff can free you up to do more leads and lead generating activities and listings, right? Because that's what you want to focus on. And then you start adding agents. Then, see, I did not do that. I brought kind of 3 agents immediately.
Seems like that's what everybody does. And these are great nuggets, by the way. Thank you so much. is a lot of people will do that, adding people because it thinks they're going to free them up. But that organization piece, what you touched on, and getting that admin is huge, huge.
Yeah.
Um, so tell me this. So you have your team. Is there a specific formula that you guys use in order to stay successful? And I know it has to obviously be regimented, but is there a specific formula you guys use?
Well, yes. So the formula will be this: win a client care business. Selling homes is just kind of right behind the scenes, but we are the client care company, or the way I also like to tell to my team, we are the client event company that happens to sell real estate. And that's always
Love that. I love that.
a priority. And back to the topic, when I had to identify my weaknesses and strength, I'm a visionary, and most of the team leaders are. We have these great visions, and we want unicorns and roses and ballrooms full of happy clients. But you have to identify your weaknesses and delegate accordingly. Operations on my team been always the biggest opportunity. I'm being completely honest because I know our audience can relate to that. I did have an operations manager who was a great man for 1 year and a half. He came, he took a lot of headaches away, and when he left, because he went back to his older brokerage because he get a raise I could not compete with.
Sure.
Like, all the headaches came back, and here I am 1 year and a half later. Finally, I found a great candidate who I'm bringing in. She getting licensed as we speak, and she's gonna take over all the legalities, all the headaches, all the problems when it comes to the transaction. Because I'm currently personally dealing with that. It's just not my best time and use. No, it's
Dude.
not. Yeah, and we have a client care manager, and this is how that position unfolded. So I am the face of the company, like many team leaders are. And even if you're a solo agent, when you start growing a team, you want to be the face of the company because this is your brand and protect your brand. Whatever you do, whoever you hire, you always have to protect your brand. It's like non-negotiable. But so let's say I have two kids now, and I'm at home with my kids at 10 o'clock. I have clients calling me, "Hey, my fridge broke," or "Hey, we're trying to do this, it doesn't work." And of course, me being caring agent, I'll skip my kids, put them on the side, and I will take these calls. And I'm like, well, how can I prevent this? And I literally designed this client care manager position. And she started as my personal assistant, this lady, right? She's a bit older, so she has this motherly nurture. And now she's a point of contact for our clients when it comes to anything related to the house post closing. We implemented the follow-up system I want to say 7:30 in 90 days post closing. The minute it closes, she calls them, introduces herself. "Please, for any questions who come to the house, call me." She's also a liaison with the home warranty. We provide home warranties to all our clients. We pay for it a little under $500, but sometimes it saves us thousands.
I love that. That's great. That is great. All right. So my last touch that I wanted to touch on, because you've been murdering this, is the TikTok. And everybody thinks TikTok's for the kids, but there are very select people that are murdering it on TikTok and using it for business as well.
Yeah,
Tell me about it.
TikTok is very dear to my heart. And for our dear audience listening and watching, friends, like the TikTok, it's still the only platform that lets you grow organically. And even if you want to outreach your videos to specific demographics via hashtags, or just simply want to get audience, I personally joined TikTok mid-March, and it was not just one day decision. Let me just go ahead and wake up and join TikTok because I'm bored out of my mind. No, a few things happened. It was a stay-at-home order. I did have a surgery, so I was a bit depressed, kind of recovering from surgery, and my Facebook got hacked. Okay,
Oh, no.
Brand, double prove your passwords, because when the times are hard, which was COVID, the entire country was a shutdown. My Facebook got hacked, and it took me a little over a month with help of our dear friend Tristan from Lab Codes to get it back. Like, it was so locked, they did not understand what was happening with it. And you need to understand. Now, our audience need to understand that Facebook is like it's my second home. Like, my client group is there, my networking groups are there, everything is there. I communicate on Facebook every day and it was completely gone. So I was just feeling hopeless and I downloaded TikTok. And there's few stages to TikTok. At first you download the app, you're like, oh man, I'm just gonna download it, I'm not gonna look at it. But then you start watching the content. Then you start relating to the content. See, for me, mom humor is very dear to my heart. And I like comedy and there's a lot of funny skits and funny little videos. So I was like, this is so funny. And then you start watching this content, you're like, oh, I can do this. I can relate to that. And sure enough, I started making these funny little videos. TikTok suggests 15 seconds or less. And what TikTok platform lets you do the video and it downloads on your phone automatically. And I was using this as a repurposing content. I will text it to my clients because remember, I don't have Facebook. I cannot communicate, only text messages. And they're like, oh, this is so funny. Or I would text it to my team. You kind of give them a little funny vibe. And when I discovered the power of TikTok, literally 11 o'clock at night, I put my husband to bed with kids because he was not about TikTok. He thought it was the biggest waste of time. He would he would hide my ring light, so I would not do TikToks. Moms join TikTok. We don't know what we're doing. We should go back to Facebook. And that video went viral. And particularly, I want to say like 100,000 views. And I was like, wait a second, this is actual work. I think it went viral. And then I started taking this platform a little more serious.
I love it. I love that so much. Yeah, I'm in the phase where I'm watching the videos, and I just need this little nudge to get over the hump and do it. So I appreciate you for that. So I know, and I wanted to thank you so much for coming on. This is fantastic content, and this will help any agent. I don't care if you're starting today or if you've done 1,000 quadrillion transactions in your life, you are going to get something out of this. And I love the client appreciation. That is definitely something that we should all put in our business. So I know you're a very giving person. If you do want to give out your information, if somebody wants to reach out and get help or anything like that, this is your opportunity to do so.
Ronnie, thank you first of all, thank you for having me. Dear audience, I am open book. If you message me, I promise I will get back to you. It may not be the same day because I do get carried away and sometimes I just forget and then I do it the next day. But please contact me on Facebook Messenger, add me, send me a message. Instagram is always a good source. I'm still kind of trying to manage that because I lost momentum with that. And of course, the Lana Rodriguez on Instagram and TikTok. Follow me. I would love to connect. I would love to see how can I help you. And let's do this. Let's all kill it in 2021 because that's going to be our year.
Let's go. Yes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You enjoy. All right. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.